Good afternoon. And what a beautiful afternoon it is. We've had some storms come through. Nothing unusual around here. And now the sun's out. Birds are singing. It's a beautiful afternoon. I was out here in the greenhouse, walking through. I love being out here. There's a certain amount of tranquility that I savor. And I discovered something. Principally how inobservant I can be at times. It's August the 2nd, and I was watering my black Madeira. This black Madeira is 17 months old or so. It was a cutting last year, and it's grown. Even with all these figs that it has on it, still, even though they are stealing away the energy of new growth, it's still growing considerably. So, as I was watering it, I moved a few leaves around, and all of a sudden, bingo. The Black Prince, some regarded as the prince of all figs. If I may dub it. It is getting ripe. I actually thought that they would be ripe a little bit earlier, sometime in July, but I was off by a few days. So I'm really looking forward to this harvest. Last year, this tree actually produced 2 ripe black Madeira figs. 2. Look at this new growth. Look at it. Even with all these figs on this young tree, only in its 2nd year, and look at this growth from here all the way up to there. Look at that new growth from here all the way up to there. It's just doing so well. That's quite a few figs on it, and that's a big one. Look at the size of that. Look at the size of that. That's going to be a delicious fig. Huge. It's the food I give it, I think. Lots of composted manure tea. House compost, kitchen compost. My wife collects for me. Lots of calcium. Crushed oyster shell. Lime. Organic fertilizers. Rainwater. And while we're talking about it, and I've done a video about the water, but you know, this is just a tip that you may or may not ever wish to follow. But I absolutely refuse to give my figs cold water. Even in the spring, I'll take it in the house in a 5-gallon bucket and leave it in the kitchen overnight. I'm not going to water my figs with cold water. And I try never to use faucet water. And you know, it makes a difference. Think about all the thermal units of heat that you're pouring into the container. I mean, that will have a greater effect on earliness than almost anything you do. You wouldn't want to be working out somewhere and then someone douse you with cold water. And figs respond to warm water. And in the spring when it's cold, the best thing you can do is water them with warm water. Thousands of thermal units of heat that they will be very grateful for. You know, I wasn't going to make this video, but I'm kind of glad I did because, you know, I'm going to put my neck on the chopping block here for 1 second, if you don't mind. I would not necessarily categorize Black Madeira as a fig you can count on. I've been doing sort of like a series, figs you can count on, practical figs, you know, figs that you can grow in your backyard that are winter hardy. I mean, you know, it has to fit a certain number of criteria. But it is a fig that you can make practical. If you do all the right things, you can grow this fig in a container, not in the ground, not here, not in 7A in New Jersey. We don't have the luxury of living out in Arizona or California. But you can make this fig practical to the extent that you can grow it. And you can see that. It's August the 2nd. I grew 2 last year on that little cutting. There was 4, and I popped them off. Several I popped off. And I let 2 grow, and they both got ripe. And I have to look at the postings, but it certainly was I believe it was in August. And that was a cutting. So you can do it. There are methods, which is what I'm trying to share with you. Methods for growing figs effectively in cold climates. So I wouldn't lump it in as a practical fig or a fig that you can count on, your typical backyard variety, but I would say it's a doable enterprise. It certainly is something that you can succeed at, as you can see. You know, I'm going to do another little video, but I wanted to just talk to you for a moment about something else. I've got so many things running through my mind. There's so many things I do, but you know, I'm sitting here looking at this fig, and I was just getting ready to give this Black Madeira a fig bath. And you're probably wondering, well, what is a fig bath? Well, you know, when you have pots, when you have figs in pots, they accumulate a lot of salt. They accumulate a lot of calcium and you know, they you know, or, you know, minerals, okay? And even heavy metals, and oh boy, got a couple of nice ripe Ronde Bordeaux here. Ooh, wow, that's ooh. Oh, we're not gonna neglect this. Ooh, wow, wonderful. One of my favorite figs of all time, Ronde Bordeaux. And what a beautiful fig it is. Oh, I love my figs. I really do. Let's have a taste. Oh gosh, I'm sorry, can't help myself. Gotta do it. That is so good. Another right one. I'll save that for just an hour or so. Back to the fig bath. Oh, here's something I can share with you. My first main crop This is a Violet de Bordeaux strain. They call it Nero 600M. And I like it. It's a very, very good strain. I've talked about this before. It's loaded with fruit, as you can see. And it's going to be making fruit, which I love, all the way up until the frost. And I love that. There's a couple more turning color, but this one, oh, look at that. There's a nice one there, turning color. But here's one that's ripe. That's nice and soft. I'll wait until tomorrow, give it another day. But main crop, I highly recommend various strains of Violet de Bordeaux. Negrone is my favorite strain of Violet de Bordeaux. I've mentioned this before. But back to the fig bath. I'm going to demonstrate very soon. You take the fig to get all those toxins out of it. Twice a year I do it. And you actually plunge it. Let's go out here. Let's go out to the rainbow. They've been sucking up lots of rain, lots of water rather. Hope it rains soon, substantially. But you would just take the fig container and you would just plunge it. If it's a small one, you would just plunge it right in here. Plunge it in there all the way, completely. Just douse the whole container and let it soak. And then pull it out, up and down, and let the water flow through it and let it soak and let all the toxins actually release into the water. They're dissolved into the water. And the water will turn a nasty color, green and then brown. Just keep doing it and get those toxins out. Even if you keep your plants in the rain, as I do, when there's not a terrible storm, still, notwithstanding, your figs need a bath. They need a bath every once in a while. You need to wash out the toxins. It's so vitally important. And they love it. They appreciate it. These are some Peter's honey that are main crop that are getting ripe in a pot that I have. Beautiful, beautiful tree. But you take the bigger ones. I've got a little swimming pool around here, little child swimming pool. I fill it with water. I put the big ones in there. I'll just dunk it right in the big barrel of water. And I'll let it soak there for an hour. And I'll pull it up and down and let the water flow through it. And I'll give it a fig bath. Do that at least twice in the summer. I do. That's my recommendation. And you should see the toxins that flow out of the containers. And I believe that it's a vital function to get out all those salts and all those heavy metals and minerals, all the toxins that are in our ordinary water, especially if you're using faucet water most of the time. You certainly want to give your figs a bath. They love it. Your doggies love a bath. We love a bath. Your figs will love a bath. Give it a try. I highly recommend it. Oh, look at this. We're gonna pick our. There we go. This is Latarula, Italian honey fig. Oh, wow! Look at that. Nice. So nice. Here. Want to get a photograph with the black prints? There we go. Black Madeira. Look how beautiful that fig is. Look how thick the stem is. Very healthy. Probably take another week to get ripe, I imagine. 4 or 5 days, a week, we'll see. Now, let's see. Getting my fingers in the way here. Let's open this up. It's always difficult to do. There we go. Oh my. There we go. This is my first main crop. I never gave that tree a head start of any kind. It remained in my isolation room in the basement. I just didn't have room for it. But hey, August the 2nd, not bad for main crop fig. Italian honey fig. We're only halfway through. Beautiful, beautiful. When these are ripe, these are good. This is a very practical fig, by the way. Italian honey, Laterola is good. It's a good backyard fig. It's tough. It's winter hardy. It's productive. It's not a top tier tasting fig. I give this maybe a 7.5, 8. When it's fully ripe, 8. But that's a good fig. That's a good fig, especially when you don't have other figs around. And these keep producing. Let me have a bite of this. Beautiful. Isn't that beautiful? Just a wonderful benefit of being a figster. Fresh, organic figs. Hold on one second. Wow. You know, Laterola tastes good in a container. I've spoken about this before. Some do not. This is really good. This is a solid 8. This is an easy solid 8. No question about it. It's delicious. It's delicious. A lot of Italians have this fig growing in their backyards. They cover them up in the wintertime and wrap them, put a little hat on the top. This is a common fig to me. I've seen it in so many Italian families, friends of ours and relatives. You know, I'm trying to be objective here. I'm very excited about that fig. That's actually one of the better Laterola I've ever had. It does really well in a container. Okay. Well, thank you for visiting. Certainly appreciate your participation. This is a wonderful time of the year that I look forward to. Some more. I've been eating these Smith fig. Look at this. Wow. Wow. I'm going to have a couple. There's a couple that can be picked right now. There's that one up there. It's really ripe. And that one on top of it. That's right. There's one back there. Oh, wow. There's one up here. Where was that? This is a really ripe one right here. It's ready. This one's ready. Wonderful time of the year. Enjoy the rest of your day. Give your figs a bath. Try it. They're appreciated, I promise. And you'll get better results and better tasting figs and healthier figs. Oh, there's another Laterola that's just absolutely ready. With that, until next time.